Welcome back to the nationally syndicated Price of Business show. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Do want to remind you of our newsletter. It's called Read Instead. It's at readinstead.com. It is the best of the Price of Business digital network, all of our media platforms, which is now a dozen different platforms. And we choose our best content from each of them. They include, in my interviews with New York Times best-selling authors, even several billionaires, Nobel Prize winners, and more. Check it out. You'll enjoy it. It's one newsletter will come to your box each week. You won't be deluged with spam. We're very careful about that. And there's no cost for signing up for it. It's readinstead.com. I am really excited to have Chris Kidd join me here today. Chris Kidd, longtime contributor on The Price of Business, underwent lots of different and exciting changes in his business and life a couple of years back that had him take an extended hiatus, but he's back. And Chris, welcome to the program. You are our business, our money guy, our money coach, really, above all other things. You know, I like to, we're both armchair coaches. I'm too tired to be a quarterback even in my chair. But, we love to talk about what's happening in a lot of different sports. But money is your thing, and it's the thing you do to help people. It's your expertise. And so with that, it's literally a reintroduction to a lot of our audience, which has expanded since the last time you've been with us, plus a lot of listeners that I know are going to be glad to hear you back again. So a little bit about yourself, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's great to be back. I know we've been talking about this for a while, it seems, and I wasn't sure if we were ever actually going to get me back, because every time we were planning on it, I kept extending it a little bit longer and a little bit longer. But we've gotten some stuff worked out now to where I've got a little bit more freedom on my schedule and everything. I stay very busy, and I got really, really busy while I had to take that little extended hiatus. But, I've been a financial coach for quite a while now. I've worked with everybody from high school kids to professional athletes, entertainers, business people, and pretty much everybody from every area of the spectrum. And I really just I feel like, I've got a mission for helping people solve financial problems. That's led me to multiple other things, business ventures and stuff, which actually got me into the construction company that I own, which was part of the extended hiatus, because we had some things to clean up on there, and some things that I had to deal with when we acquired that company, and some stuff we went through. But that started because of financial coaching with an old friend of mine, and that led into, well, hey, I've got this company that I'd like to buy, but I don't have $1 million to buy it. Can you help me put a deal together? And that's how we wound up in there. But I tell people, they always ask me, what do I do? And I finally boiled it down to, I tell money where to go. So I'm either telling money where to go or teaching somebody how to tell their money where to go.
Yeah, it's a very good way of putting it. And by the way, some of the coolest interviews that we've had on the show over the years have been some of those that you have found for the show. Your Rolodex, I'm using a very arcane expression, but I think people still know what I'm talking about. It's pretty thick in terms of the kind of people that you've been able to bring onto the program, iconic athletes over the years, legendary coaches. It's been, and even an actor from A Christmas Story, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And so you've got a very rich list of connections, which is a very important part of the money story. I have a mentor of mine, one of the most important mentors, almost like a father figure to me. And, he would tell me the three most important, words in business are relationship, and relationship, and that's a lot of your story as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's 100%. I'm very big on relationships, and everybody that knows me, they know that. And if they've just met me, they find out very quickly. Speaking of relationships and some of these past segments that we've had over the years, I've been in contact with some of those people, and I've already got some of them chomping at the bit, ready to come on for some more interviews, and they've got some pretty awesome things happening, some of them too.
I think that's phenomenal. We'll look forward to that for sure. Talk a little bit, though, about your practice itself in terms of helping people learn how to tell money where to go themselves, because this is really important in order to develop our own autonomy in making economic decision-making, and that's a big part of your effort. Talk a little bit about how you help people in that respect.
Well, there's the money management side is kind of where we always start, because I always say it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you can't handle it, it's going to be gone anyway. And Mike Tyson, who has made a great comeback, he's a great example. He admits that he's blown over $400 million. And like we've talked about this before, it's not because he was just that stupid with money necessarily, like trying to blow it. He did buy a lot of stupid stuff, but he also had the wrong people handling his money, and he didn't know what his money was doing a lot of times. So that's why I'm very big on knowing what your money what your money is doing. And even if you're handing your money over for somebody else to invest for you, you need to at least understand what it's doing, because if you don't understand it, your money doesn't belong there, which is what took me forever to get involved with any kind of crypto. I never understood it, so I was like, I will not put my money there. Now I'm starting to understand some of it, so I've got a little bit there. But, yeah, I always preach, don't put your money in anything you don't understand. And if you got a lot that's, you want to put somewhere, well, go learn. Start understanding it before you do something with it. But we always start with the money management side, learning how to handle your money, knowing where your money goes. I always like to say I tell my money where to go, so I don't have to ask where it went. One of the first things I always have people do is for 30 days write down every penny they spend, so they know where their money's going, and it's mind blowing to most people.
Yeah, probably terrifying.
Yes. In fact, I had somebody. We went through their expenses and stuff. One time we were sitting down going through just their personal finances, and it's like, you got $3,600 a month left over, but he was going backwards every month. He was going in the hole, and he said, "Well, where's that money going?" I said, "Well, you tell me." This is what you're going to do for the next 30 days. You're going to write down every penny you spend, and you're going to find where it's going. So he found where it was going, and he's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm spending this kind of money on all this stupid stuff." So it's just a matter of redirecting it. I like to tell people savings, cash is, it's gotten now to where cash is like, it used to be cash is king. Now it's like cash is trash. It's losing value constantly. So really the only reason for savings is to save money to invest. I mean, you want to have a little bit of a cushion for protection for yourself, but outside of that, there's no reason to have a pile of cash saved up other than you save your money and then you go put that money to work. And then you invest that into something that's going to build and grow. And then the long-term strategy is put that money into real estate that's going to provide cash flow, or just a passive cash flow on a monthly basis.
Yeah, and at some point, one of our conversations need to be about real estate, because there's a lot of, kind of concern in light of the government's policies that made a lot of investment owners, frankly, they went under. They went under because of government policies. And so how do you get back into that? Because it's still, tax structurally wise, the hottest place and best place to go, especially as we get back to more normalcy. But it'd be a good conversation to figure out how to navigate that. And I love you're talking about Mike Tyson. I think it's 2 parts, multi-part nonetheless, a series about him that's at Hulu. About him. That is just phenomenal. Frankly, he has got a great redemption story, a lot of humility. I was shocked to hear his humility, and just accepting himself, accepting himself as he is, warts and all, but also knowing that you have to accept others as well. It was really sweet. I kind of got choked up watching it. His candor and his honesty, and really, what you were saying is that the truth is that our behavior about money, really our behavior about anything, is really only as good as our training, from our family of origins, and his could not have been any worse. And so it took a lot of time to rework that, a lot of time to develop new beliefs and to think differently. But you know what? Even at his age, here he is doing that. And frankly, a lot of things I needed to change, that happened, I think, a lot older than it should have. It's all a product of training. And so I'm really glad you brought him up.
Yeah, in fact, Mike might be a good person to get on as a guest at some point.
Oh, yeah. He'd be phenomenal. I would love having him on. Okay, we're playing Beat the Clock. That's kind of always the drill with you and me. But love having you on. chriskidd.com. That's Kidd. Final thoughts as we wrap up the segment.
I'm just looking forward to being back and a lot of great interviews that I know that we have coming up. It's exciting. I'm glad to be back.
Well, we're glad to have you back. A lot of fun. Again, some of the finest shows have been shows that you played a big role in, and we're looking forward to doing those. I am Kevin Price. This is The Price of Business. Stay tuned for more after this.